Good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The Sports Show is on the air with Gary Patterson and myself. We're here to give our own spin on the sports scene.
Okay.
And with that said and done, Super Bowl Sunday is 2 weeks away.
Yeah, yes, it is.
And Gary, your pick is
Kansas City.
Kansas City, 1-point favorite
Yes, at this
over
point. Yeah.
San Francisco, and I'm picking San Francisco.
All right.
Hoping that defense continues to play as strongly as they have.
Well,
But
I'm behind Mahomes. I think Mahomes is the best.
I think it's
So,
going to be an exciting game. There's exciting performers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm rooting for Andy Reid, I must say.
You know,
I'd like to see him get one.
yeah. Hate to start off with a disagreement here, but you know what? We can't put sentimentality in the way of logic. I mean, so
Well, I like Andy Reid because he's got Patrick Mahomes.
well,
So-
Andrew Reid has had enough time, enough different opportunities to take a bang at the old pinata.
He has. He has.
He's always had good teams. He's a good coach. So here's my message to him. Shape up. See if you can win one.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not-
think this might be his time.
Yeah. It's not Romeo Crennel's time. He was given his walking
Yes.
papers.
Yeah.
Who the devil? Who's the defensive coach out to the Rams?
Oh, yeah.
Been around 1,000 years. He was given his walking papers too.
Yeah, a number of people were.
Yeah, obviously, it's the defensive coordinator's fault that the teams went down the tubes.
Yeah, can't be the coaches.
No, or the general managers,
No, or the GMs.
or the
That's right.
ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are we expecting on Super Bowl Sunday? A shootout, or do you think that?
I don't think it's going to be a real shootout because I think, San Francisco is going to try to control the clock.
They
Right?
are,
They're going to use that running game.
and if they can run.
Yeah.
And by the way, the front four of Kansas City is not the strongest in the league.
No, they're not. But they've played better the last month.
They have. The stats prove that.
Yeah, over the last, coming down the stretch, they improved.
So if Kansas City can stop their run, it becomes a totally different game.
Absolutely. Make Garoppolo throw.
Yeah. By the way,
He'll make a
Garoppolo's
mistake.
numbers for long passes lead the league.
Oh, good. Yeah. No, he's done well. He makes all the pass. They don't rely on him a lot, but when they need him to pass, he passes.
Yeah. And he's mobile enough.
Yeah.
He doesn't mind taking the ball down and running with it. I think Jimmy G is. It's a shame he's out there, and it's a shame he's not here.
Yeah. Well, that's just the way it worked out.
It is. It is. Yeah. You're absolutely
And in
right.
retrospect, it was a good trade, right? We traded him. We went to 3 straight Super Bowls. So
Yeah.
how can you argue with
You
that?
can't. You simply
Right.
can't. Yeah. So anyway, I think we'll see a 30-27 kind of deal.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Mahomes will put some points up,
Oh, yeah. That
despite the San Francisco defense.
that lad is dynamite.
He is explosive.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those drives in the championship game, just bang, bang, bang down the field.
That tightrope
2
walk he
minutes.
did down the
Spectacular.
oh, unbelievable. And he's a very bright young man, very articulate. And
He's the real deal.
it speaks well for something that we've talked about, I think. It takes intelligence to play football.
Oh,
I mean, this
especially
is just,
quarterback.
Yeah. Quarterback and the D-backs and the linebackers, these guys have got to
yeah.
be able to change on the fly.
And
so to
process
speak.
quickly.
Yeah, process quickly. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. And Mahomes is obviously the real.
Yeah, he's.
We'll see how he grows.
Yeah, I think he's.
Because
I think he's the best right now,
yeah.
personally.
I personally also feel defense wins football games.
It does.
And it's going to be interesting to see. There's good defensive minds in the NFL. It's going to be interesting to see what comes up next year
Yeah.
and how they decide to defend him.
Yeah, same goes for Lamar Jackson.
Exactly.
When they have an off season to study the film and
and
him
figure
apart.
out what they're going to do about him.
yeah.
And Allen up at Buffalo is another kid that moves around a lot. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Now, do you think there's going to be a long-term trend to big guys that are mobile as opposed to pocket passes?
Well, that's the trend right now, no question about it. And we'll see.
Well, it's the kids coming out of college.
Yeah.
But
so Burrow is not necessarily that.
No,
I mean, he can move.
Boy, he can.
He can move and he can run, but he's more of a traditional pocket passer.
And the kid from Clemson is the same way.
He is.
So
Well, they sure had him running in the championship game. Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting to watch all that.
Yeah.
So Josh McDaniels, he's sort of like a girl that goes to the dance. You know, she gets all prettied up and puts on her best frock and puts on her best makeup and goes to the dance and nobody asks her to dance.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He obviously didn't get the job in Cleveland. I assume he wanted it. I don't know if he wanted it. That ownership situation's a mess out there.
Oh, it is. It's a disaster. Unless you're desperate. A head coach that's canned. You sat out a year. I mean, you'd go coach for the devil.
Yeah.
I mean, if he owned the Browns. But someone that has a great job in a great situation like McDaniels, he's getting paid.
Yeah.
You know,
he's getting paid. There's no question about it.
And
he's got to be careful. The next job could be his last job.
Well said.
Yeah.
That's perfectly well said.
So if you have a dysfunctional ownership, which I think they do in
Cleveland. Yeah. I can't think of, well, I don't know. Is Jerry Jones dysfunctional? I mean, he's a football guy.
He's a football guy.
But he runs a strange ship.
Yeah, he's got to be the center of attention.
Yeah. And I mean, Jarrett was 10 years in the job, which is about 5 years too many.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Probably.
So he didn't pull the trigger on him.
He liked him.
He liked him.
He's like his son. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think also...
I was surprised to see Garrett go to the Giants as offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Well, he wants to stay in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I think he views himself as being named the interim coach when they get rid of Joe Judge.
Bingo.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Lady in Waiting.
Yeah. And there were stories all through the fall that the Giants were interested in him.
Mm-hmm.
When it became apparent he was probably going to get fired, supposedly the Giants were interested.
Yeah.
So
it's a good fallback position for the Giants to have, I suppose.
I suppose.
And he's a good offensive mind. I mean, he was quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
He's got a world of experience working for interesting people.
He does.
Tom Brady, I still want to play.
Yeah, he does.
I made that very clear this week. What do you see for the most likely scenario coming down the stream?
I would put him coming back to the Patriots, but honestly at like 51%. I mean...
Just barely, huh?
Just barely. I mean, I think hopefully when all's said and done, cooler heads will prevail. They do have the issue of having to deal with the cap and this whole idea of getting him signed before March 18th. Yep. Or they've got to flush that $13 million against the cap.
That's dead money, dead ball
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they sign him, they can spread it. So
right, exactly. Yeah. Spread it all. And they can also make some of it bonus money.
They can do a few
There's
things.
games that they can do. But you know what? They're kicking the can down the street because eventually they're going to have to do something.
Right. And so the question is, does Bill really like Stidham? I mean, you see the stories that they like Stidham.
Yep.
But there's a lot of thought that he's not going to quite be ready next year.
So do you try to talk Tom into a 1-year contract?
Well,
I'm sure you could. I think there's about 30 million ways to do it.
Yeah, I think maybe a 2-year contract, but the second year you can get out of if you really want to.
1 year guaranteed.
Yeah.
I don't think Brady would bite for it, but is there going to be interest by people with money?
Absolutely.
You really and truly think that?
I think it's the Chargers. I've been saying this all along.
Yep.
I think it's the Chargers. They're going into their new stadium. They are on the back page of the sports page in L.A.
Okay.
What better way to get on the front page of the sports page than to sign Tom Brady?
You are Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Brady gets the number you and I have bandied about so many times, gets a 3-year, $100 million offer from the Chargers. And he comes back like a good little doobie and says, gee, what do you guys think about this?
Yeah.
So, Bill, what do you say?
I think you let him walk. There's no way you can sign him to a 3-year, $100 million contract.
Supposing it's a 2-year, $40 million guaranteed contract, but with some incentives. And that's the kind of deal I think he's going to get offered.
Now we're getting closer.
Yeah.
We're getting closer.
So do you say, sign here, Tom, we'll keep you right here in New England? Or, Mr. Belichick, do you say, Tom, out the door you go, baby?
If we can make the numbers work, then he stays for another year.
Okay. Yeah.
But they're going to have to make the numbers work, and it's not going to be easy.
Oh, I don't think it is either.
Right.
And I got to tell you something. I do not look through rose-colored glasses at him. He's gone steadily downhill.
He has.
And, one thing you can't run away from? Old age.
Old age. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Old age catches up with
It
you
does
no
indeed.
matter what you do.
Yep. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be nice to see him finish here, but I think he's willing to go elsewhere.
I think you're right. I think he'll listen to other folks.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
You know what? I don't think he's going to get any bloody interest at all until after the Super Bowl.
So I think what they need to do is give him permission to go talk to teams now and not have to wait till March 18th.
His agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just say, look.
And I think they can do that.
I think you're right. And I think there's more than one way to do it.
Right.
Go talk to his daddy.
Go talk to whoever you want to talk to and get back to us by the end of February. We give you permission. We're not going to file tampering charges against anybody. Go talk to them and see what you want to do.
And you're sticking with him signing back with the Patriots?
By the narrowest of margins, yes.
Well, you like to make sure there's a safety net under you, don't you?
I think it's very much up in the air.
I do too. I agree with you. But you know what?
And people say, I don't think he knows.
No.
He doesn't know what he wants to do.
So I think the wife will make the decision for him.
Well, she'll have a lot of influence. There's no question.
I don't want you doing this, Tommy.
Yeah.
You promised me, Tommy.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
You'll find out what a bad Giselle I can be if that's what you want.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to have scrambled eggs for brains.
Bad Giselle, miserable Tom. I mean, what's the difference?
Well, miserable Tom might have his brain intact.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't want to see him get hurt. I'll be honest with you. I do not want to see that. And I'll also say something, too, really crazy. If it's possible, there's an unsaid rule. Woe be the guy that Cole Cox Brady.
Yeah.
I'll be willing to bet you the NFL has put that out. And who the heck was it that put a fairly good lick on him and said, I pulled up. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
He said, I know. He said, if I had gone through with that, there would have been a huge fine and a huge suspension.
Yeah.
Because we've been told, he didn't say that. He said, because you're not supposed to hit Brady.
Yeah, I think it's more than Brady. I think you can put Aaron Rodgers in that category as well.
Yeah, you could have something there, and they'll be throw Drew Brees in there
Throw
too.
Drew Brees in there.
Yeah, although I saw Brees take a couple of licks
Yeah.
in that last game.
There's some rumblings Brees might retire.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't know what it is that pushes Brady. He's got all the money in the world. He's got it made. But the competitive fire, is that it? Because
Yeah.
when
I think he
you
loves to
have
play.
a guy like Brees who steps back from it and says, here I am, barely 6 feet tall, 195 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm taking hits from 300-pounders. And so far, I haven't gone nuts here.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
far.
I've avoided, for the most part, injuries. I'm 41.
Yeah.
I've made $89 gazillion. What the devil am I doing still out there?
Just playing the game. They like to play the game.
True story. And football is fun to play.
It is.
It is.
Especially when you're at their level.
Yeah. I think it's more fun to play than baseball.
Yeah.
Although I love watching baseball too, so the couple of things about football I'm not wild about. They're still hitting defenseless receivers.
Yeah. Not as much as they used to, but yeah.
No, a lot of that's gone away.
Yeah. And rightfully so.
Oh yeah. Well, I think Brady will be back. I think there's...
The question is on what's the deal, though, because they need to add pieces to help him. I mean, part of his coming back, I would think, is you need to get me some help. You need to get me a legitimate NFL tight end, because I didn't have one last year.
Exactly right. You got to draft the best tight ends on the board.
And
Or
I think free
sign
agency.
a free agent.
Right.
Because I don't want to go through breaking a rookie in. So get a veteran. Who the heck is available, you know?
There's a number of them.
Yeah, there is.
Actually.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it all depends if you're willing to go like 11, 12, 13 mil.
Right, which again goes to the cap and what are you going to have to do? And if you bring Brady back, you may have to look at getting rid of some named players.
Well,
Dante Hightower may have
Here's
to
the
go.
deal. Here's the deal, Tom. You want to come back? We've got to structure you so that you're earning $5 million and the rest of it is a bonus payable downstream.
Yeah.
And that way we can afford to get you an offensive lineman. We can afford to maybe sign Joe Tooney.
They're not signing Tooney.
He's going to get too much.
Somebody's going to pay
Karras,
him.
I think they'll sign. And switch
Yeah,
him
I think
over to guard.
they'll, yeah. And they're saying David Andrews is probably going to be back. So
Yeah, but you know, blood clots are tricky.
they are.
Nothing to mess
But
with.
he's young.
Yeah.
With a year of treatment, hopefully.
I
he'll be
think
okay.
they'll sign Brady. I think it'll come back with a incentive-laden contract. Second alternative, he'll retire. I don't see him going and playing for anybody else.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let's be honest about it. This is how things work with big boys. Daddy Kraft says, Tommy, come in here and sit on my lap.
Yeah.
Now listen, Tommy, here's the deal. I want you to sign for starvation wages with us. And as soon as you decide you don't want to play anymore, then you're going to get a job as senior special assistant to the president of the team, and I will make sure you get every penny that we should have paid you.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I think you could work something out.
You
could work
probably.
something like that out with me, I'll tell you.
Yeah, no question. No question.
But
But we'll see. I mean,
we'll see.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
20 years is a nice round number. Been here 20 years.
6 Super Bowls. The GOAT.
Yeah,
He'll have that title forever.
forever.
Do you really want to see that down the drain with 2 horrible years?
Yeah, but he has so much self-confidence. He doesn't see it as 2 horrible years.
Oh, I know. And he wants to sell that TB12 too.
Yeah, which
And,
makes LA a
yeah.
very attractive market
Yeah.
for TB12.
Well, and not only that, but the longer he plays, people say there must be something to that stuff.
Right.
Look at him out there hopping around.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, now I know that you've got a nice nest egg tucked away. So are you planning on running a 1-minute ad on the Super Bowl this year
I am not.
for Patterson Enterprises?
Yeah, I am not wanting any ads. I don't know
because
what the rates
I
are now.
can get you a special price.
Is that right?
Yeah, they were talking about it on TV this morning. $10 million for a 1 minute.
$10 million.
Yep.
Wow.
They've got Trump for president, Bloomberg for president, and Facebook.
Huh.
3 of them that have signed up. They're sold out.
Wow. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. It is.
But you get the eyeballs. I mean, cost per eyeball
Yeah.
might be okay,
Depends on the now, I think this is going to be, well, I don't think this will be a record breaking
No.
because you don't have the Bradys.
Yeah, the conference
involved,
championship
Aaron
ratings were
Rodgers.
down
Yeah.
11% from last year.
Yeah.
And that's after the previous 2 weeks had been up.
That's right.
Last week was down.
Patriots weren't in it.
Patriots weren't in it. Whether you love them or hate them,
That's
they
it.
draw the eyeballs.
Well, let's change. We'll come back to the Patriots again, I think. But I always like to check up on how some of my lads are doing around the National Hockey League. The ex-Bruins.
Good hockey talk.
Riley Smith is out with Las Vegas.
Yeah.
20 goals, 19 assists, 39 points, and he's a +7.
Huh. Good for him.
He wasn't very physical, and
No. That's the way it goes.
Noel Achari,
Yeah. How's he doing?
18 goals, 3 assists,
3.
3.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a one-man gang.
Yeah.
21 points. These websites are all different, so I couldn't find his plus minus. But he's making $2 million a year. I think he signed a 3-year $6. I
Wow.
think $2 million a year. Now, who would have thunk 18 goals?
Yeah, and that may be an
I mean,
anomaly. Can he do it again?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
But right now, looks like one hell of a signing for Florida, who has clawed their way straight up the standings,
They have.
by the way.
Yeah.
Frank Vetrano, 11 goals, 13 assists, 24 points. He's making $2.5 million a year.
Okay.
Nice wages if you can get it, but
Yep.
not much for a National Hockey League. Brett Connolly. Bruins had him for a little while.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we don't, he doesn't really fit. And 16 goals, 13 assists, 29 points.
Huh.
He's
Not
been
bad.
paid 3.5. So you take a look at these guys and you say 2, 3.5, 2.5. That's 6 and 2 is 8. $8 million we could have spent. And the line will be Achari centering for Vetrano and Brett Connolly. Not bad compared to what we signed
Yeah.
for 1.1 or whatever that's going through the motions. By the way,
or David Backus.
now, proof positive that not only do we have a terrific, loyal viewer base hanging on our every word, but the proof is in the pudding that Don Sweeney and Cam Neely watch us too.
Is that right?
Well, do you remember last show I was raving about the third and fourth lines
Yes.
and what they're produced? David Backus has been sent to Providence.
Yeah.
Brett Ritchie has been sent to Providence. 2 criminals right there. Oh, I wouldn't say that about Backus. He used to be a good player, but
He's a good guy. He's a good team guy. But
terrific guy.
He just can't
But you know
produce.
what? Again, we talked about it. Old age catches up with you.
Yeah.
The legs don't work anymore. And the game is different, too.
That was a
than
bad
16
contract at
years
the
ago.
time.
Oh,
When
so
they gave
horrible.
that contract out, it was just,
Well, you know
oh my
what-
gosh, what are you doing?
You know what they did? They were trying to sign Louis Erickson back,
Yeah.
and Louis, out of the clear blue, was supposedly, the Bruins weren't aware that he was negotiating with the Canucks.
Huh.
And out of the clear blue sky, the next day, bingo, signs with the Canucks for a 5-year, $35 or $40 million contract.
Yeah, good luck to you.
I mean, Louis stinks.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a good year for the Bruins, and he's gone out there and done absolutely nothing. You talk about Backus being a bad signing. So the Bruins, a knee-jerk reaction. They took the best free agent on the market at the time. It was David Backus,
Yeah.
and they signed him. Said, "What do you want?"
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take you. Because they lost Erickson, and they had to save face and sign a premier free agent. It was Backus, and he was all done, and he must get down on his knees every night and thank the good Lord for that turn.
But
of
then they
events.
extended him, right?
No, he signed a 5-year, $6.5 million contract.
It's a terrible
And
contract.
and guess what? He's got another year after
Yeah.
this. You know, they play some games with the money. They're still paying him, but doesn't count quite as much against the cap if he goes to Providence. They save like $1.2 million on the cap.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so they can fit somebody in or something, I guess. Whole contract stuff is beyond me.
Hopefully they have room to add another player.
Yeah. I hope they don't panic, though, and sign another David Backus.
No, I agree.
over
It's
the
going to have to
hill
be
guy.
I think they're going to make a deal, though.
But a good, young, functional hockey player is going to cost them more than they're going to be willing to spend.
Yeah, probably.
So I think they're in a box. I think they're going to have to make do with what they got. I think they'll bring Frederick up. There have been a lot of that whispers in the paper.
Yeah.
He's playing well down there. He's taken over the leadership of the team.
It's an enforcer.
He's an enforcer. Yep, 6 fights, 6 wins, and he steps into people that are misbehaving,
yeah.
and that'll win him a trip to the majors.
Well, somebody should be there because you got your goaltender taken out and nobody did
That's right.
anything.
Not a thing. Not a thing. Back in the old days, there would have been 5 players skating after that.
Yeah. Go through the crease and elbow the goalie and give him a concussion, and,
Yeah.
and there's no repercussions from this team.
None at all. No. Although Milan Lucic, do you remember when he cold-cocked the Buffalo goalie that wandered out of the crease?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody came after him.
Well, that was Milan Lucic, yeah.
That was probably a wise move on their part. Tough boy.
So did you think that was a cheap shot?
I think so.
I thought it was, too.
Yeah. It's very subtle, but he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he didn't fire the elbow, but he
didn't, but he got it
clearly
there.
hit
But
him.
he moved his body
He
so
did.
that he made sure the elbow was there. Dougie Hamilton, 14 goals, 26 assists, 40 points, $5.75 million a year. This is last year of his contract, and he gets a broken leg.
Yeah, that's a shame.
That is not going to enhance his next contract.
No. He's a good player, though.
He is. He is. And the Bruins didn't like him. It was free spirit. Yep.
Yeah.
That doesn't fit. You're out.
Yeah.
One more. Blake Wheeler.
Blake Wheeler.
What are we going to do with him? I mean, is he a left wing, a right wing? I mean, he just doesn't fit on the team. So he's the captain of the Winnipeg Jets. 15 goals, 27 assists, 42 points. That's down from his usual performance.
Yeah, I was going to say that's...
33 years old. Last year they signed him to a big contract. Now, I think it's front-end loaded. He's getting $10 million this year.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty common to front-end pay that.
Yeah.
And then as the guy starts to fade,
His
you
salary
pay
goes
him
down.
his $5 million, that it scales down to $6 million, and you get rid of him.
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money for Blake Wheeler,
Yeah.
who's a good hockey player. But I'll tell you what.
It's on the back end, though.
Yeah, the rest of the 33 years old, mother. I mean, the rest of the Winnipeg Jets are not playing worth a darn.
Yeah.
A big disappointment. Rick Bowness, good guy, takes over the Dallas Stars. So the speculation is, well, of course, Gerard Gallant got dumped by the Knights.
Yeah.
So the speculation now is Claude Julien's on the hot seat.
Yeah, I would think he would be.
Yep.
I would think he would be.
One more thought on hockey.
Okay.
David Krejci. We've kept him too long as the injury toll mounts.
Yeah.
I wanted to trade him 2 years ago.
I don't know how many years he's got left.
Well, it's going to be 34 next year. Never has played the contact game.
No.
Um,
And he's like a $7 million hit, right?
That's right. He's making $7.25, I think.
Yeah.
Now, either this is his last year on that contract or next year is his last year. I think next year is his
I think
last
he's
year.
got one more, yeah.
Yeah. So, I got some interesting things to talk about.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, there it is. So, let me ask you a question. Supposing the Red Sox are now being investigated for cheating.
Yeah.
Alex Cora is
Gonzo.
Accused, convicted, all that. I mean, he was dead. I mean, after everything came out down in Houston.
Oh, yeah.
So the Red Sox said, bingo, you're out. Got to do it. Got to do it. We love you, but I got to do it. You got to go. So now the Red Sox, of course, the rumors were around, 3 players leaked out that the Red Sox were cheating also, that Cora had set up something else. Okay, knowing Cora and the mindset, it's believable, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So.
It's amazing they kept it quiet as long as they did.
Yeah. So I said to myself, who among former Red Sox players would have an axe to grind with the Red Sox? Now, there's supposedly 3. I came up with 4.
Okay.
Any thoughts?
I haven't really thought about this. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like to do this to you, cold turkey. So, Blake Swihart.
Possibly. Was he
Here's
here?
a guy that had a lot of potential, they said, "Oh, you stink as a catcher. We're going to make a utility ball play." He runs into the wall, rips up his leg. Then you're back in the mix again, and they don't play him. And
Wasn't he gone by 18? No?
No.
He was still there?
Oh, remember spring training? He's in the mix. We're carrying 3 catches.
Yeah. That's a possibility.
He's a nice guy, very pleasant guy.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't
Good.
know. But I'm just picking out names. Stephen Wright.
Yeah, I could see that.
He's a mouthy guy.
He's a mouthy guy. He's a bit of an oddball.
Yeah. Very nice to meet and very nice to talk to.
Yeah.
But Eduardo Nunez.
Yeah.
I played on the World Series team. I played hurt. Now you cut me and all this the next year.
Yeah.
And Sam Travis. You fouled up my swing. You made a mess of my swing. You made me go for home runs.
Never gave
I
me
lost
a
2 damn years.
chance. Yeah.
The way you guys messed with me. Now, by the way, folks, I'm not representing that as the truth. It's speculation.
Possibility, yeah.
Possibilities. So I think now it's off the top of my head. So I'm sure there's a couple of others who probably felt they got a bum rap with the Sox. It was one of not Bobby Poyner, but it was a left-handed relief pitcher too that they jerked up and down, and then offloaded.
I don't know if we'll ever find out.
That.
You know.
So I think we will. Somebody will write a book about this.
Yeah, probably. Next Shaughnessy book.
Yeah, Shaughnessy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised you mentioned that magic name. Shaughnessy is in the middle of another little controversy here. He has been talking to, or actually emailing with John
Henry, yeah.
John Henry accused him of being a liar. So, Shaughnessy makes this point. The Red Sox had the highest payroll in baseball last year, but finished 19 games behind the Yankees and out of the playoffs. 12 minutes into the Sox late September media session, I asked Henry if he planned to reduce payroll in 2020. He answered, "This year we need to be under the CBT. That is something we've known for more than a year." A month later, the Red Sox hired Chaim Bloom from Tampa Bay to fill Dombrowski's position, in the media narrative this offseason has been that Bloom is charged with trying to get the payroll under $208 million. This is why you've been reading so many stories about possible trades of Betts, Price, and Jackie Bradley. This is why former Sox Cy Young winner Rick Porcello left Boston as a free agent and signed a 1-year deal with the Mets. This is why Sandy Leone was dumped in favor of the more cost-effective Kevin Plawecki. The Red Sox have reset before. If the team does so in 2020, it's certainly possible it could spend big again in 2021 and 2022. The spontaneity of Henry's September statement led me to believe that it was not planned. Henry, I'll skip that. So then he emailed Henry and Werner and Kennedy. And of course, Werner came back and said, I'm working on the call. He said, let me get this straight. Shaughnessy sent a email. I'm working on a column in which I'll suggest that there was no plan to disclose the mandate to get under the $208 million luxury tax threshold before you went into the September 27th press conference. It felt like John just came out with it spontaneously, and now that is the charge for Chaim Bloom. Is this accurate? Werner responded at 9 p.m. Our plan has been the same since 2002. namely to be competitive year in, year out. That is the charge for Chaim. Just before midnight, Henry wrote, "You might actually be right for once, in that I don't plan what I'm going to say before answering media questions in a live media event. But this focus on the CBT resides with the media far more than it does within the Red Sox. I think every team probably wants to reset at least once every 3 years. That's sort of been the history. But just this week, I reminded baseball ops that we are focused on competitiveness over the next 5 years and above resetting, to which they said that's exactly how we've been approaching it. You seem to think Chaim was brought in to reduce payroll. That has simply not been the way FSG operates here or across the pond. We try to act responsibly so as to be consistently competitive. Your main point seems to be that I accidentally disclosed a secret plan, but unlike you, I am honest about Red Sox issues. The question was asked and I answered it. There's new information here. Henry is assuring fans that competitiveness over the next 5 years is more important than resetting. Hopefully that means they're not trading Mookie, and hopefully it means not a bridge year. The Sox owner is telling us all the noise about slashing payroll and resetting is media-driven. According to Henry, it is in fact not the mission of the Red Sox. Most of the good players who were here for 2018 championship season remain, and the Sox can win 95-plus games and compete in 2020. It's possible to reset the tax and play for a title at the same time. Whew. For a while there, I was worried about a bridge year, about cost-cutting as the mission of Chaim Bloom. Henry is telling us that is not true. For fans, this would be a good thing. A little tongue-in-cheek at the end of that.
Yeah.
Henry can't have it both ways.
No.
He's recorded as saying, we're going to get under the 208. Now he's saying, that's not our mission. I want to be competitive, and we're going to spend whatever we have to.
Well, I think he'd like his cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Right? He'd like to get under 208 and still be competitive, which is possible, quite frankly, depending on what you do and how you package these guys up. I suspect Mookie's going to start the season here. I think they've listened to offers. I don't think they've gotten what. And I think that's a possibility that Mookie will be even more valuable to trade deadline because whoever gets him now or then, they know he's not re-signing with you. He is going to free agency. So at the end of July, you're looking at only probably paying him $10 million for the rest of the year, 10, 12 million. Yeah. You're beyond the halfway point of the season. And so it's a rental. And, for a team that knows that they're in it and thinks Mookie is the missing link to put them over the top, they'll probably pay more than they're willing to pay now because they don't know that yet.
When you're looking at these multi-gazillionaires, the difference between 10 million and 27 million is chicken feed to them. If they can have them for the whole year, that's an extra 8 or 10 games they might win that they ordinarily wouldn't. Maybe.
Yeah.
But he's an exciting ball player and a hell of a ball player.
Yeah.
I would rather opt for getting them now and have the whole year to work on them.
Well, I think that would be ideal, but I don't think his market's going to disappear once the first pitch is thrown.
I think you're right. And I think it's a box that not only is he in, but we as fans are in. And I think the Red Sox are in the box too.
Yeah. The downside is it just drags on and on.
And on and on.
And it's in the media every day. So if you can move him now, get it over with before spring training starts, get it over with everything else that's going on.
Do spring training is a long 3 weeks away?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Red Sox haven't done a bloody thing.
No.
Nothing.
Signed a couple of scrubs. That's about it.
That's it.
They filled the 24th and 25th roster spot.
That's it. Exactly. Jason Mastrodonato in the Herald said basically the same thing, but he's a little bit more aggressive. It's kind of interesting, but he more or less kind of says with a little more of a cutting edge than our friend Shaughnessy said. And he points out all the other teams that have improved and we've done nothing. He said, unless, of course, you count Martin Perez, Jose Peraza, Kevin Plawecki, as most fans haven't heard of, and unless you consider them to be improvements.
Yeah.
And they're not.
They're not.
They're absolutely, positively not. I'm sure that he's going to be about as welcome as a skunk at a lawn party here.
I think that the Dodgers are a legitimate trade partner. And, I saw an article last night that the word is basically, if you want Betts, you got to take Price. And we could talk about some money coming along to help pay Price. But that's the deal. You're not getting
so
Betts without Price.
If I was LA,
that might work for LA.
I would say, okay,
yeah,
if we have to take Price, you were going to get 3 gilt-edged prospects.
Yeah.
You're going to get 1 now and a couple of good prospects.
Yeah.
You'd scale the offer back. And if the Red Sox had any brains at all, they should do it.
They should do it.
You listen.
Price and Betts fixes your luxury tax problem.
That's exactly right.
You're done.
That's exactly right. And it takes away all the uncertainty. Oh boy. Are we going to trade him in August? What if we're in second place, 2.5 games out? Are we going to trade him at the trading deadline? And, and not only that, but where's Betts' mind going to be?
He's going to free agency.
That's right. So
he's made it very clear. I think he's been very clear.
He has.
He is going to free agency.
Going through the season, though, is he somewhat conflicted at times and might lose a little concentration? Or I would. I know.
I doubt it. He's playing for a contract.
Yeah. Well, he's going to get a contract. I'll tell you that. Look at this article by Alex Spear, who I don't care for.
Yeah.
Sox banking on Peraza's potential.
Yeah.
He batted .239 last year and hit 6 home runs.
Right.
Good fielder, though.
Good fielder, at one time considered a very good prospect.
Yeah, and had a good year. Had a good year, one good year.
Change of scenery potential, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I also saw this, one thing I did see this morning is Pedroia's had a setback. What a shocker.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Here's another little blurb, too, that you're going to like. The Red Sox purchased the contract of 27-year-old outfielder Colin Willis in October after he had a 935 OPS in 95 games for Gary in the Independent American Association. Blah, 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 blah. Willis will compete for a spot in AA or AAA with the Red Sox. In normal times, no one would write that story.
No.
This
you have
is
no
what,
depth. You have no depth in your minor leagues.
This is what the Red Sox are relegated to.
Yeah.
Get us some FaceTime. Got to get something in the paper about us. Got to sell them season tickets. Here's another one you made.
Well, the biggest problem in the next 5 years is the farm system.
Yeah.
They got nothing coming up. They got Castillo, right?
That's right. Bobby Dahlbeck.
Dahlbeck, rather.
Yeah. And they've got an outfielder that batted close to 400 in A ball, came up to Double A, and kind of tailed off quite a bit.
Yeah.
He can run, though.
But if you look at the top 100 prospects in Boston in baseball, do they have any?
3. In American Baseball America, last time they came through, I think they have either 3 or 2.
Dahlbeck
is one.
Yeah.
But the rest of them are. There's a pitcher that I had never heard of that 17 or 18 years old. They signed him out of the
I remember
Dominican.
Yeah.
And he's got 4 pitches, and he can throw 95, and he can get all 4 of them over the plate. They said their comment was a fast trip through the minors to the majors for this lad.
Yeah.
There's another story.
Okay, but that's pretty thin.
Yeah.
You know, if you got 2 potential players.
Yeah. That means a 0 you got in the minors. Right. Here's a story that'll warm your heart. Hector Velasquez, a valuable player in 2018, had a 5.43 earned run average last year and was 1-3. Blah, blah, blah. After skipping winter ball in Mexico last year, he returned this season and has pitched well so far for Navajoa. Vasquez said last summer that while he needed the rest, he didn't feel as sharp coming into the season. He has pitched in winter ball 8 years in a row. Velasquez returning to the form he showed in 18 would be a big boost for the Sox. He can pitch in a variety of roles.
Oh, man.
This is what they're writing.
That's what we're down to? Yeah.
This is what it's... Oh, here's something interesting. The decade that we just passed through, we're in 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
2010 to 2019, the most wins in Major League Baseball. New York Yankees.
Is that right?
Yep. Second.
No championships.
By 2... No, none. Second by 2 games. 921 to 919, the Dodgers. No champions.
Yeah, they've been pretty consistent. No championships.
Again, consistency. The Cardinals. 899, and they got 1 World Series. The Nationals, 879, they got 1 World Series. And the Red Sox, 872, and they got 2 World Series.
Yeah.
The fewest wins, the Marlins have the fewest.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
707 by a wide margin. The Padres are next, the White Sox, Rockies, and the Orioles. Individual honors. Most home runs in the decade. Nelson Cruz. 346.
That's amazing. He just keeps on going.
Second, Edwin Encarnacion.
Yeah, I love
335. The 2 guys that Big Papi begged the Red Sox to sign.
Yeah, I love Encarnacion.
Yep.
He just brings an attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The third, you and I wouldn't guess this in 100 years. Giancarlo Stanton, 308. The most hits. Now, I'll tell you this. If we sat here until next Thursday and we tried to pick the 3 guys with the most hits in the decade, we would never get it. Never.
Really?
The most hits. Robinson Cano.
Is that right?
By a wide margin.
Robinson Cano?
1695 to 1651.
Wow.
Second, Nick Markakis.
Nick Markakis?
Third, Adam Jones.
Wow. You're right. I would have been here a long time before.
The pitches, we could pick the pitches, the most wins, you and I would bomb that one. We'd have that one in a heartbeat. Scherzer, 161, Verlander, 160, Kershaw, 156. And the same 3 guys are tops in quality stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about pitching.
Wade Phillips was who I was trying to think of.
Oh, Wade Phillips. Yeah, it's probably time to go.
By the way, I'm going to go off on the deep end here
Okay.
with one more thing. You cannot stop old age.
I've noticed.
The Bruins have got to take a long, hard look at Zdeno Chara.
Yeah. I think so.
Yep.
I mean, his cap numbers come down, but
Yeah, and they got defensemen down to Providence.
yeah.
I mean, bring them up. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, they get 3 of them down there that supposedly are ready to play in the National Hockey League.
It's amazing the depth they've developed at
Yeah.
defense over the last 3 years.
Yeah,
It really is.
You're gonna if
They
you're
bring
gonna,
these kids up, they can all play.
yeah, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But I know, the sentiment. He's a great guy. He's your captain. He's a war horse. Yeah, well,
Yeah, all true.
that's right. But skating is in
Yeah.
a faster game. It's being exposed.
It is.
Yeah,
Still got the reach, but
that's it. Yeah, and the strength.
yeah.
And he's still mean. Well, friends, it was nice of you to join us.
Indeed.
We always look forward to entertaining you, and we'll certainly do our best next time. So tune in, and we'll be
We'll
here.
be talking about the Super Bowl.
That's right. The Super Bowl will be history, and you'll get the straight scoop here.
There you go.
That's it. Good night, or good morning, whatever.
Yep.
That's it.